Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a crime story video. I haven't done one in a while. Sorry if you hear the background noise. It is my fans because it is 80 degrees here and it's midnight. That's fun. So today we're going to be reading the story called The Mystery of Room Number 1046. Before we get started, I just want to say to make sure to like and subscribe or turn on post notifications, and go follow my Twitter, link in bio. I will be doing a V-Buck giveaway on there, and I plan on doing all the types of giveaways like Netflix, Hulu, Prime, stuff like that. But giveaways are on the first of every month. So just let me follow down below. You can possibly win something. But now that that's out of the way, let's just get right on into it. January 2nd, 1935. At 1:20 p.m. in Kansas City, Missouri, a well-dressed young man wearing a black overcoat with no luggage checked into the President Hotel, registered under the name of Roland T. Owen from Los Angeles. Owen wanted an interior room with no windows to the street. When he insisted, the hotel manager gave him a windowless room on the 10th floor, room number 1046. Nothing seemed wrong or reliably suspicious about Mr. Owen, but that changed a day later when the cleaning lady, Mary Soptic, walked into Owen's room. He looked nervous, sitting in the small room next to a single lamp that lit the space. Shortly after Mary arrived, Owen left the room. "Leave the door unlocked," Owen asked the maid, as if he was expecting a guest. Owen had strange facial expressions that somehow unsettled Mary. He was either worried or really scared of something, she would later claim. Soptic came back to room 1046 a few hours later to deliver fresh towels. Owen was in his bed, lying there fully dressed. A note was on the desk. It read, "Don, I will be back in 15 minutes. Wait." The next day, when Mary came back to Owen's room, the door was locked. She used her passkey, which opened every room in the hotel. Much to her surprise, Owen was there, sitting alone in the darkness of the room. As she was cleaning the room, she heard Owen on the phone talking to someone. "No, Don, I don't want to eat. I am not hungry. I just had breakfast. No, I am not hungry." His nervous behavior was a bit off-putting, but what really startled Mary was the darkness of the room. That same day, she went to the room again to deliver new towels. What did compel her to do so? What compelled her to do so? Was it curiosity? Did she want to figure the strange person out? Regardless of her motive, what happened afterwards changed everything. She knocked on the door and heard two men talking. One of them had a husky voice and roughly cried that he didn't need new sheets. It was not Owen. On midnight, January 4th, a new guest in room 1048 heard some arguing noises from Owen's room. The man claimed that one of these voices belonged to a male and the other to a female. The hotel staff tried to check up on him, but it appeared that the phone was off the hook. So they sent a bellboy to room 1046. He knocked on the door and heard a deep voice. "Come on." I'm sorry, dropped the phone. "Come on," it said. However, the door was locked. The bellboy mentioned the locked door, but the man inside didn't get it and simply replied, "Turn off the lights." The bellboy knocked more, but nothing happened. He decided to leave and shouted through the door, "Put the phone back on the hook." At 8:30 in the morning, another bellboy went upstairs to examine the situation because the phone was still off the hook. After the bellboy heard no responses from Owen, he used his pass key and entered the room. Owen was there, naked in the bed, covered with sheets that had dark marks all over them. He was passed out drunk. The bellboy put the phone back on the stand and left the room. However, later that day, when another bellboy visited the room, there was no sign of drunkenness. When I entered the room, he was within 2 feet of the door, on his knees and elbows, holding his head in his hands. I noticed blood on his head, he later told the police. After he turned on the lights, he saw blood on the walls, on the bed, and in the bathroom. Scared, the bellboy rushed downstairs and told the manager what he saw. At short notice, the police arrived at the hotel. They found out that Owen was tied around his neck, ankles, and wrists. He had been stabbed many times in the chest. One of the marks showed that a knife had pierced his lung. His skull was also damaged on the right side. Owen was still alive and conscious. The police asked about what happened. Who was there? Who attacked you? One of the officers inquired. Nobody, Owen answered. How did you get hurt? The detective asked. I fell against the bathtub. Owen answered smugly. Did you try to commit suicide? The detective asked. No, Owen coldly responded. After that, he slowly lost consciousness and slipped into a coma. They transferred him to a hotel. However, on the first day of January 5th, 1935, Owen died in the hospital. It was a strange case for the Kansas City Police Department. The hotel room was designed as the crime scene. The hotel room was The hotel room was designated as the crime scene, and there weren't an awful lot of useful evidence or clues there. Whoever attacked Owen also took everything in the room. There was no towels, sheets, or items of clothing. The only thing they found was a necktie label, or a hairpin, a cigarette, and a closed bottle of sulfuric acid. They even tried to find prints but failed. The only print found by the police was on the telephone stand, and it belonged to a woman. But in that stage of the investigation, another important question popped up. Who was Roland T. Owen? They couldn't really identify the body because everyone knew him by a different name. Owen had occupied many hotel rooms recently. The staff of a nearby hotel named Mulholbatch, I don't know how to pronounce the name, knew the man as Eugene K. Scout of Los Angeles. Eugene had rented a room for a single night. He was also specific about a room with no windows. The St. Regis Hotel also claimed that he shared the room with someone named Donald Kelso. Soon enough, the case turned into a big mystery. Who was Roland T. Owen? What was he trying to do? Were more people in danger? By every definition of the world, he was a ghost. The police and media asked the public to help them identify this man. Many people came to visit the body, but no one could help. There were two other mysteries in this case. The person named Don, who they assumed was Donald Kelso, and the lady with her print on the telephone stand. The police could not locate them. They couldn't even find sufficient evidence that would incriminate these two people. Some wondered if this was all about a typical love triangle. But why wouldn't Owen tell the police about his attackers? Was he trying to protect someone? In March, the police and media announced that there was a plan to bury Owen in a potter's field. However, before the burial took place, an anonymous man called the funeral home and asked them to bury Owen in Kansas City Memorial Park Cemetery. The anonymous man paid all the fees related to the funeral. His identity was never revealed. The funeral took place and police detectives were present. An anonymous order was delivered to the funeral. 13 American beauty roses with a card that read, "Love Forever, Lewis." The police detectives couldn't find anything else. The case remained unsolved. 2 years after Owen's death, in the fall of 1936, a woman named Ogletree, I don't know these names, from Birmingham, Alabama, claimed that Owen was her son, Artemis, who went missing years ago. Owen's head was marred by a large white horizontal scar. Ogletree recognized him from this scar. After many failed attempts, Roland T. Owen's identity was finally revealed. He was Artemis Ogletree. Born in Birmingham, the media printed his real name in November 1936, but even then his identity was the very last progress in the murder case. Decades later, there are still no conclusive answers as to what really took place in room 1046. Many have tried to crack the case, but there are no clues that can help the investigators. Who was Don? Who was he? Was he the murderer? Was he Lewis? Was he connected to Dom? There are many theories floating around. The story of room 1046, however, there are no real that was definitely not voice crack. However, there are no real answers based on solid evidence. As of today, the mystery behind the door of room 1046 remains unsolved. The last days of Artemis Ogletree, aka Ronald T. Owen, aka Eugene K. Scout, aka Duncan Ogletree, are still a secret, and no one knows the real truth. The chaos of our world is indeed terrifying. It really is. Hidden from us, many terrible things happen every day. Such mysteries speak of the darker features of human nature. Some believe that there will be many years before we finally learn the truth about Roland T. Owen on a fateful day. Alas, the underlying principle of such mysteries warn us that that day may never come. Thank you for listening. If you guys are still here, please drop a comment telling me that you are still here. I really appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and turn on post notifications so that we never miss another one of these videos. I really love doing these crime stories, and I have many more videos coming. I have many crime stories that I have planned out. Maybe some short videos, maybe some long ones. This is just one of them videos that are like in between short and long. But I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.